Hello and welcome to the Christmas edition of the Building Sustainability Podcast.
Woo!
I am once again joined by Mike Hill, who is going to be my co-pilot for this festive, silly, end-of-year chat.
Hello there, it's me. Can I do this bit now?
Yeah, you do that bit.
Okay. Hello, and a warm welcome to episode 113. Hello, and a warm welcome to episode 113 of the Building Sustainability Podcast. I'm Jeffrey Hart, and every fortnight, join me as I talk to designers, builders, makers, dreamers, and doers. Together, we can explore the wide world of sustainability in the built environment by talking to wonderful people who are doing excellent things.
You really enjoyed the wonderful people and the excellent things, didn't you?
It's my favourite bit, always has been.
I was thinking about making some badges that just said wonderful people doing excellent things.
Yeah, or just wonderful person.
Yeah.
And then, or an excellent thing. Slightly objectifying, but...
Yeah. I am an excellent thing.
I'd buy them.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Links in bio. Don't go on the bio.
No.
There's no link.
So as we said, this is the festive episode. Mike is here. We've got some questions asked by listeners. We've got some rambly conversations about work we've done this year.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever comes up. Some hijinks. We'll pull a cracker in a bit.
Yeah, maybe a touch of tomfoolery.
Maybe a smidge of shenanigans.
Nice. A bit of
There's definitely going to be swearing in this
episode.
I might bleep that one out just because it's before
the warning.
Yeah. But after that, it's...
That'll be my first on-air bleep.
Will it?
Yeah.
You've never been redacted?
I've rarely been redacted.
Mike,
R.R. Martin.
So, normal things before we get into the podcast. So we have one new patron. I was very surprised, actually. I was gearing up all day to say we had no new patrons because, I mean, it's Christmas, so everyone's...
Cost of living crisis, mate.
Yeah. And you wanted to say cost of living Christmas again, didn't you?
That's a missed opportunity.
But at the last second, Ben Stevenson has come in today. He has become a patron, and he's on the spoon level.
Whoa!
Getting himself hand-carved spoon.
Benny Spoons.
Yeah. And he sent me a message, and he said, this has made maybe my year.
What did he tell you?
He said, it feels like an island of sanity, fun and good during a time where the world often doesn't seem that way.
Well, that is absolutely delightful, and
Isn't
allow
that
me
nice?
to ruin that island of sanity this evening.
Yes, we are. We've gone for a little holiday on the island next door.
We have, yeah. Coconuts filled with booze and slightly softer sand.
Do you know what? I was chatting to someone the other week. It's a friend of the podcast, Ben Carrington Lime. Ben Kerslake from Carrington Lime. He said, I re-listened to your Christmas podcast, getting myself in the mood. And then he said, Mike's very funny.
I'll take it.
Owie!
Nice one, Ben. You know what's going on, mate. Yeah. Maybe he thought that was a given that you were funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we know what you meant, Ben. Thanks, Ben.
So, before we move on from Patreon, there's a really good bonus now because we've got adverts on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to hear adverts, you can become a patron, and I'm going to post every episode on the Patreon page. When you become a patron, you can get your own special podcast link, or you get your own private subscriber podcast feed, and I will put every episode up on there so that you don't have to listen with adverts.
Sans adverts.
Yeah.
Pro level.
Yeah.
Subscribe, baby.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of money, couple of spoons, no adverts, happy days. Building sustainability. It is a good podcast. That's the tagline. Work in progress.
No, it's an island of sanity.
It's an island of sanity in an otherwise batshit crazy world.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Before we get into the episode, wanted to give you some stats. It's the end of the year.
Building sustainability wrapped.
Yeah. Other podcast providers are available.
Mm-hmm.
The most popular episode, can you guess it?
Can I guess it? Yes. Well, I know what the most shared one is.
Ooh. Yeah, but that was quite late in the year, that episode.
Yeah, so the most listened one, obviously, mine and yours last podcast was last year, so that can't be included in this year's stats.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Which obviously were through the roof. It has to be you and a guest from the world of sustainability.
Yes!
And the
it was.
environment.
Yeah, congratulations, Mike. Perfect.
Knew it.
It was, of course, Marianne Sir with Old House Retrofit.
Marianne Sir.
Yeah.
You pronounce her surname slightly French.
Oui.
Bon. Well, très bien. Très bon. No. Well done.
Well done.
To Sue? Sir.
Marianne
Sir. Sue Sir.
And our most popular of all time.
Flo Hamer.
No, she's been knocked off the top spot.
Damn, sorry, Flo. You're out of there.
It is now Siggy Coco, and an excellent episode it is too.
And what was that with regards to? Obviously, I'll listen to it, but just to remind the listeners.
Natural building.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, those are the headline stats.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Cockcroft was most shared.
Most shares. Big up Dave Cockcroft.
Yeah. He's got a question to ask later.
Of course he has.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm trying to look at his list of questions and he's shooing me away.
How dare you? I think that's all I've got for the intro.
It's a good intro.
Have you got anything to add to the intro?
Jeffrey has a Christmas tree in his house.
Yes. I think that should be in the meat of the episode.
Okay. Nothing left to say on the intro.
Should we roll the theme music?
Yeah, I'm about to play it live. Let's go.
That was a perfect rendition, right?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I tried to make it sort of CD quality replication when I performed live, so hopefully that came across.
That really did.
Yeah.
That really did. Yeah,
I mean, like split second timing, the exact same sounds, exactly the same volume. It almost sounds exactly like the recorded version.
Yeah, and all that done without two of the strings on your guitar.
Without two of the strings on my guitar, I had to play several instruments at the same time. It was a tough one, but it's Christmas, so we pull out all the stops and we try and make it as effective as possible. Jeffrey is currently fiddling around in the kitchen. He is
handing you a coaster.
Look at that handmade coaster, which is leftover backsplash from his kitchen.
It's cork.
It's cork. Very lovely cork.
Thanks,
man.
That's mulled wine for you. Clinkies.
Cheers.
Oh, that's a tasty drop.
Oh, that's lovely. That's warm and wet.
And as is tradition in my family.
Yes.
Do you want to start with the cracker?
Yeah.
Then one of us will have a Christmas hat.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pick the...
I feel like we need to do two crackers. I don't want to be sat without a hat on whilst you're sat with a hat on.
Because you know I'm going to win.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Christmas!
Hey,
oh, look at that.
The indoor firework has let me down.
Immediate karma. Okay. All right then.
Got a joke for us?
This is a very good part of Christmas, isn't it? So I have a small envelope, or an envelope. That looks like a card trick. So we'll bin that off immediately. Okay. Importantly, what dog can't bark?
No, I don't know.
It's a dead dog.
Oh.
It's not, it's a hot dog.
You saw my genuine sadness.
That was brilliant. Poor old Jeffrey went all small and miserable like a upset child then who'd been given a substandard Christmas gift. So, silver hat on my head.
Nice.
Should we pop another one?
Nah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You don't want another hat on, do you? Right then, 2 for 2.
No!
It didn't even pop.
Hang on, I got the snap.
That means you win.
Hey!
Okay.
What kind of ball doesn't bounce?
Like a lead ball.
Yeah, probably.
It's not very funny, but
Well, I suppose it depends on when it hits.
yeah.
It's festive themed.
A bauble.
Oh, no, I mean that's another ball that doesn't bounce.
Okay, a snowball.
Yes.
Ah, of course. Of course.
That is it.
Cool.
Festive cheer.
Well, we've got matching hats on. Should we do a cheers with our heads?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a festive headbutt.
I'm gonna get a selfie.
Mm-hmm.
I figured we'd
Can I
post
be in
it. So I'll get an Aussie.
And also,
Should we get in front of
yeah,
the tree?
let's do it in front of the tree.
And then we can post this on Instagram, and then people, when they listen, what's going on with your eye?
I don't know.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing is.
Great.
It's okay. Sweet.
That's good. I got a little tape measure, by the way.
Let's have a look. Ooh, that's like the Festool one I got you.
Yeah.
Folds out similarly. It's about as effective.
I know that you've got a bit of tape measure MB going. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got 2 blank cards and a ace and a king. I don't really know what that is. Thanks, man. What should we measure with this? The height of this sofa?
Yep.
What do you reckon? How tall do you reckon your sofa is, Jeffrey?
I think it is
This is good stuff.
500.
430.
Oh, boom.
Yeah, sorry, mate. You're off the podcast.
I'll just sit in the toilet.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's just me now.
Well, should we talk about this Christmas tree?
Let's talk about his Christmas tree, yeah. Jeffrey has a resplendent Christmas tree, approximately 5'6" in height.
Yep.
Freshly harvested from the site of our workshop.
Yeah.
Mm.
This tree has been looking at me while I've been turning bowls.
Judging. This tree looks like a bit of a dick, to be honest. Like, I don't like the look of it.
No?
No. I mean, I like the look of it, but I feel like it's got bad intentions.
Mm. Yeah, I had to cover its head over with a cracker.
I can see that, yeah. Good work.
Well, should we talk about the craft school then? That's
Let's
sort
talk
of-
about the craft school.
We seem to be talking about it already.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was up there today,
Very nice.
chopping down that tree.
How's it faring over the winter?
Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's less wet than I was sleeping in there. I thought I'd take a little bit of a holiday away from my life.
Oh, yeah.
Go and sleep in the workshop, and this was in September, I think, and we got a month's worth of rain in about 2 hours.
Ah, yes, that was the night you woke up at 2 a.m. and had to dig out trenches.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that was fun.
Good times.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, we've got a slight drainage issue that we're going to solve. We've got all the pipes for it and whatnot. But there was a point when I was turning in a puddle in a thunderstorm, and I suddenly realised what I was doing, and I thought, this probably isn't the one. What a way to go.
What a way to go. He died doing what he loved.
Yeah, but I didn't want to use the electric lathe.
Hey-o! It's Christmas! Cheers to that.
Yep.
Clink. So yes, Nettlecombe Craft School, CIC.
Yeah, we are now a CIC.
See?
See? Hi.
Where?
What do you want to say about the craft school?
Established in 2023.
Yeah.
Nettlecombe Craft School, CIC.
Yeah.
Full stop. Yes, we built ourselves a lovely, beautiful, sweet chestnut roundwood framed workshop in the woodland, on the land upon which we live. And we are going to be opening its doors metaphorical doors.
Yeah, it's an open-sided barn.
It's an open-sided barn. There aren't any doors. Next spring,
Yeah.
welcoming people to teach courses and learn stuff.
Yeah.
That could be nice.
What's the course you're most excited about?
Bow making.
Oh, no hesitation there.
No hesitation. Bow hesitation. But yes, the idea of making a bow from which to fire an arrow seems pant-wettingly exciting to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brand new to me.
The guy who is running that course, Rob, when I met him, it was at the Tetbury Spoon Club.
Very nice.
When he arrived at the Spoon Club, he brought his own trebuchet.
Wow. What? On a trailer?
Yeah, it was on the back of his pickup.
Holy hell.
Yeah, and then we fired apples across a field to someone else who had a baseball bat and was running around trying to hit them.
No!
It was the most fun.
Holy hell. Can we get him to cancel his bow making workshop and just bring his trebuchet?
Yeah.
Can he bring his trebuchet as part of the bow making workshop?
I think, yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't take it everywhere.
Yeah, that's got to be a bring it with your phone, wallet, keys, trebuchet. It's got to be.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get to the shops and realise I forgot my trebuchet.
Oh, what an idiot. Oh, you've not left your iron on, have you? No, I left my trebuchet on the drive.
So yeah, he's a very good egg. Bow making's gonna be good.
Very nice. How about yourself? What's your most anticipated course?
I'm dead excited about Nikki Gibson.
Yes, printing leaves.
Printing leaves and doing lino printing. She makes the most beautiful prints. I've got two just over there.
There they are. Shout out to Nikki Gibson, and also shout out to Nikki Gibson for designing our Nettlecoombe Craft School logo.
Yeah. What a legend.
Big ups, Nikki. You lovely, lovely example.
I talked about it a little bit last episode about biophilia. And it was in the marketing, we were coming up with marketing stuff and realising that actually we're not just selling a course, we're selling some R&R in nature, and you're selling that forest bathing and accessing a different way of life and sort of slowing down and tuning out, turning off,
zoning in. An entire holistic experience.
Yeah. So, and then at the end of it, you get a bow to go and shoot your neighbour with.
Bow to shoot your neighbour with.
Don't shoot your neighbour.
If you've got a bad neighbour, shoot him with an arrow.
No.
If not, don't do it.
No.
No.
Even the baddies.
Okay. You can't shoot. Tell you what, all right. Don't shoot them with an arrow, but you can flick some porridge at them with a spoon that you've carved. How about that?
Yes.
No.
At your own peril.
All right. Just speak to them and say you have an issue like an adult and try and come to a mutually beneficial conclusion.
Whew. All right.
Arm wrestle.
Thumb war.
Thumb war. Okay, we'll have a thumb war. If you've got a dickhead neighbour, have a thumb war with them. But leave your bow at home.
This is solid advice from the Christmas podcast.
Yeah. Straight from Santa's mouth. Don't shoot your neighbour. Whether it be by bow or spoon or trebuchet.
Oh yeah, you could shoot your next neighbour across with the trebuchet.
Yeah, you could shoot your neighbour you're twinned with in Belgium or something.
Yeah. I think the building of the craft school was probably my favourite building time this year.
Yes, no doubt.
It was real lovely, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. We had yourself and I and our friends Nick the craftsman, who is doing a bookbinding workshop with us next year, and our friend Vittorio, aka the Eating Man, who we both met on a previous project.
Yep.
And they were with us for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we basically
Brownwood timber framed the heck out of it.
Shout out to Capable Brown.
Oh, legend.
For the sweet chestnut. Lovely man. He's got nice poles.
Yeah. He's got sweet chestnuts.
He's got some sweet chestnuts.
What I have noticed is that we've got quite a lot of softwood growth all around us.
In the woodland, yes.
It's sort of interesting mix in the woodland there. There's like lots of old growth oak at the far end.
Mm.
There's lots of bits where there used to be a larch plantation before the larch disease came along.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hodgepodge.
Mm-hmm. Quite a lot of Christmas trees.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's one fewer now.
One fewer.
It's such a spiky tree.
It's a spiky boy. It's a pokey fella. And Jeffrey has a single Christmas decoration adornment on it, which is a festive sloth.
Yeah, sloth with a Christmas hat.
Sloth with a Christmas hat.
I mean, I put some lights on it.
There's lights on it. Really nice lights. There's quite a lot of Christmas lighting in here, actually.
Oh yeah, I was going to turn off the main overhead light.
I'll do that. Allow me. This one?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh.
Hang on.
Wait.
We're plunging ourselves into darkness now.
This is really good. This is essential for the podcast.
Lovely warm tone.
Oh yeah, that's festive.
And this tiny home feels like a tiny slice of Christmas.
Before we go on, so we've got various questions.
Mm.
I've written down all the ones I've received.
Cool.
Do you want to pick a number between 1 and 10?
7. Always 7.
Question number 7.
Who's it from?
It is from friend of the podcast, Flo Hamer.
Flo Hamer. Friend of the podcast and ourselves individually.
Yeah. Flo says, sorry Mike, this isn't really one for you. Well, no, actually, maybe you can answer.
How about I read it to you?
No. How about I read it to you? I'm in control, damn it. Don't take this away from me. You're not really Jeffrey Hart.
Oh, sorry, I'll step back. The power's going to my head.
Tiny house. What's the best design decision? What is the best design? I mean, is it a design decision? I guess so. There's absolutely no need for it to be there. The crock frame in the middle. Round wood chestnut.
Centerpiece.
Yeah, it is currently adorned with twinkly fairy lights.
Yeah.
Sort of making it look like a giant Christmas tree itself.
It's an epileptic person's worst nightmare. They are flashing aggressively. Softly.
Soft aggression.
Soft aggression. Yeah. It's a very nice feature, though. As you say, unnecessary?
Yeah. I mean, it adds a lot of rigidity.
Mm.
It also adds a lot of weight.
Mm.
But yeah, there's not a day that goes by where I don't look at it and really enjoy the fact that I've got trees in my house.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And this was sourced from Toby and Ali at Say It With Wood.
I tried to source it from them.
Damn.
But, I did source it from them and then I got it back home and I realised that what I'd ordered, I think I'd ordered 3-inch poles.
You sourced too skinny.
Yeah, I was conscious of the size of the weight.
Are we all?
So I actually got these coincidentally from the place where Flo used to live, Wilderness Woods in Sussex.
Down there Sussex ways.
Yeah. And I drove home with them strapped to the roof of my car. Looking like I was going to do a ram raid.
You got a roof rack?
Old car.
Old car.
Yeah. Belingo.
Yes.
Nothing that Belingo couldn't do except not have a blown head gasket.
We've all got our limits.
So there you go. That's my best design decision. So what do you think? What do you think has been my best design decision for the tiny house?
What do I think has been your best decision for this?
Yeah.
Well, I very much like the chunky look and finish of the cork inside. I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing the large angles happening because of the cork. I also like your comedy sit-in bath.
Why is it comedy?
It feels funny to sit in a bath.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know what? I discovered something fun about the bath.
Uh-huh.
I was sat there, like in it normally, feet in the little footwell, and I started thinking, I wonder if I want to get my shoulders under.
Yeah. So
I put my feet out of the bath and like slid my shoulders down. And I was like, okay, I'm in. I was like, hang on, I can do this one better. So I spun myself around.
Yes.
I put my bum down.
Was it warm?
In the footwell. And my knees up on the seat.
Yeah.
And then I sat like entirely submerged. It was glorious.
Yeah, like so I was going to say, so like sitting upside down on like a single seater armchair.
Yeah.
With your head underwater.
Yeah.
Nicely
But
done.
I didn't put my head underwater. I was quite worried. I had the thought of like, what if I get myself into a position where I can't get out?
Where you're stuck.
And I'm like, what if my head goes underwater?
That would be the
Wouldn't that be
saddest
tragic?
thing to come and walk in on when I've tried to find Jeffrey for work in the morning.
Yeah.
He's not turned up. I walk up
My
to his
feet in
tiny
the
house.
air sticking out the bath.
It's exactly how it looks.
Yeah. So you like the bath?
I like the bath a lot. I would like to use your bath.
Yeah.
A lot. That's just because it's quite a novelty thing. But the chunky angles of the cork inside, I really enjoy that. And in particular as well, your scaffold board end of house shelving unit.
Bookshelf.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's very pleasing and removable.
It
which
is.
I also enjoy.
Yeah. I can't wait to remove it one day.
Yeah. Can I help you?
Yeah.
That would be good.
I'd love that.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that. I like, as a completed whole, it's a pleasing thing. So it's difficult to pick apart individual parts from it.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Take that.
Do you want to do another question, or do you want to do another round of food/booze?
I'd like to do a question and then food/booze.
Okay, pick a number from 1 to 10 that isn't 7.
Okay, let's go with 4.
Sure about that?
Yes.
4?
4.
Oh, if you could only use the same 5 tools for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Holy hell. Who's that from?
That's from Kirsty Castles.
Kirsty Castles, you swine. I'm answering that first.
You answer that. Maybe you answer that, and I'm going to rustle us up some
Okay.
next course.
Okay, so number 1 would be my chinois 150mm steel rule.
Oh!
Absolutely adore it.
Oh, mate.
Got a little lifted up bit at the end of the ruler which you can press with your finger so the other end of the ruler lifts up so you don't have to mess around trying to pick it up off a flat surface. It's only mill on both sides. Oh!
Is it a ruler or is it a rule?
It's one rule to rule them all.
Good.
Thank you for asking. They also do 300mm and 600mm versions. Just go straight. No. Yeah, great tool, great rule. Tool
That's
number.
one of your 5 tools.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely it is. Absolutely, it's a go-to. I've not gone to it throughout the entire build we've been doing most recently. It's a fine finish tool.
Okay.
Which is how I
We're
like-
about to get into fine finishes.
Yeah, which is like how I like to describe my friend Jeffrey as well.
We're not finished.
Tool number 2. What's it called? Mosquito.
Controversial.
Yeah. Because it's got a funny
Hang on,
name.
explain what the mosquito is.
Oh, of course, yeah. Mosquito is a multi-tool. What's the word?
Yeah.
Yeah,
multi-tool.
but it's like a...
Vibrating.
No, I was thinking like left to right.
Oscillating.
An oscillating multi-tool. It's good to get yourself out of a fix. You can also sound like the world's worst saxophone player whilst doing it. You can do really bad versions of Baker Street and so on. Shout out to Duncan Mark Horn. Yeah, that's number 2. Already questioning that choice, but it's there.
I'm questioning that as well.
A 15cm rule and a multi-tool. If these were someone else's first top 2 tools, I would stop listening immediately. So number 3, loads more exciting, is this serious or not? It's got to be a circular saw, hasn't it?
As in like the handheld.
Yeah, a skill saw.
Yeah.
You can't not have a skill saw, can you? You can use a saw. No. Number 3, skill saw. Workhorse, always required.
You want a
Necessary.
workhorse? Is that number 4?
Number 4 is not a workhorse. Number 4 is an impact driver.
Whoa.
You can't not have an impact driver. Well, you can. This is difficult.
You can only use these tools for the rest of your life.
This is it. All right, drill, which is the drill and impact driver. A drill and driver. A drill. A drill and driver. I'd like to start this section again.
What? Are you using a drill or a driver?
A drill, because that can be used to drill holes and also put screws in.
Yeah.
So that's it. 2-in-1 combi drill.
Okay.
Number 1. Number 2 is my 150mm chinois steel rule. That's still in there. All right. Number 3.
hang on, you haven't started this again like we're going to edit it out. You've just started it again. Cool. Yeah, carry on.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm now grating nutmeg into the... Carry on.
It's become chaotic. Jeffrey is grating nutmeg into our eggnog, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a large white vessel. And he's making 2 drinks. Hey, come on. So we had combi drill. We had steel rule. The difficult thing is now that I also have to go for a tape measure.
Because you've...
But I've also now used a steel rule.
What about if you just forever lived using the chippy eye?
Well, the chippy eye is very, very accurate. All right, so if we're taking into account that my chippy eye is good enough to not have to use a tape measure at all, then we'll go with combi drill, steel rule. Router. Absolutely.
Oh!
Easy. Palm router, number 3. Should have been number 1. Sorry, palm router. DeWalt. Dual palm router, plunge and palm. It does everything you could possibly need.
Building Sustainability is sponsored by DeWalt.
Would like to be sponsored by DeWalt if you're listening. Hot in at number 4 is my new Staedtler mechanical pencil.
From Cult Pens.
Cultpens.co.uk.
Also not sponsored by them.
No, what's it called? The pencil?
Hang on, my one's over here.
Jeffrey's got one. Jeffrey bought a fancy pencil, mechanical wise, and I had to buy another one, but I bought the blue version rather than the black version.
Because you're not a copycat.
Because I'm not a complete...
It's the Mars Technico.
The Mars Technico. It's in the name. So that's nice to have. So that's number 4, I think. This is a bad set of tools to only ever have for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Number 5. Was skill saw part of this round or not?
I can't remember. You've changed your mind so many times.
It's hard to say. So, after all of that, I'm going to start again. Number 1.
Again?
Number 1, skill saw. Number 2, combi drill. Number 3, 150mm steel rule. Number 4, chippy eye. Is that a tool?
No.
That's something I've got.
That's a justification for not having a...
I have that, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Number 4,
Router.
router. Number 5, what do you need? What do you need? Number 5, a positive attitude. You absolutely require a positive attitude in your toolbox if you're going to be working on an elongated basis.
You're my number 1 tool.
There you go. That's your short, concise 5 necessary tools for me.
Wow.
How about that? Enjoy editing that one down.
What
mate.
an editing nightmare. Well, here's an eggnog.
Look at this. Thanks, man.
I made this today.
This has got giant ice cubes in it.
Yeah.
50mm.
Yeah.
By eye. That's a Christmas cracker joke. How does a Geordie check a level?
How?
By eye, man! Sorry to anybody from that region of the country. Special shout outs to Tricky. It's thick.
Yeah.
It's viscous. What's in it?
Eggs.
Mm-hmm. Eggs. Plural.
And nogs.
How much nogs?
Snogs?
How much nogs?
More nogs than eggs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
That's the ratio.
What is the ratio? More?
Yeah. Greater than. Do you want to ask another number? Not 7 or 4?
Yeah. I would. 9. 9?
This question comes from Dave Cockcroft.
Big Dave.
Big Dave. He said, which compost toilets most stand out in your memory and why?
The one we built not so long back. Here. In Nettlecombe.
That's a good one.
Mm.
Why does it stand out in your memory?
It's
Because we spent ages building it.
because we spent fucking a long time building it. It's the first Actually, it's not the second compost loo I've built, but it is the first example of full-on sort of timber framing that I've done start to finish.
Oh yeah.
Mortise
and tenons and that.
Mortise and tenons and all that. Also sweet chestnut.
Sweet chestnut.
The sweetest. So that was very lovely. We did that. We've got some lovely bamboo shuttering on the outside, sourced from the bamboo grove on the estate.
Yeah.
And
who doesn't have a bamboo garden?
If you haven't got a bamboo garden, get out of town.
What are you doing?
Losers. So I'm building that from start to finish, working out the angle of the urine trough. See how far back or forwards in relation to the toilet seat itself it had to go to cater for men and women.
That was confusing.
It was intriguing.
Yeah. And we had it tested by multiple people who all said it needed to go in a different place.
Yeah.
It's almost as if humans are all different.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not having it. But yeah, that was really good. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
I've weed in it. I've not yet pooed in it.
Oh, you must. Go now.
To be continued.
Go now. It's just over there. Go on. Treat yourself. I'll wait.
Now.
Everyone here will wait.
Okay, let's do it.
No pressure.
I'll go now. Oh, what a lovely poo that was.
I'll edit in some like footsteps crunching through the snow.
If you would, yeah. But yes, that's my answer. I think that's my favourite compost loo. Of course, as a true scumbag of a human being, the one that I built.
I mean, I feel like Dave is asking this question because he knows that I've been to his compost loo. And Dave, who makes exquisite chairs, the toilet seat is one of his exquisite chairs with a back on it and a hole cut in the seat.
Ooh.
And it is, I mean, it's a luxury compost poo.
It's the literal throne.
Yeah. It is, yeah, it's quite delicious.
Bad choice of wording.
It is quite What's the word? It's
nice, lovely, beautiful.
It's good.
Very good.
Dead good.
Yeah.
That toilet experience was let down by the... I don't think the loo had been emptied for a while. It was getting towards, the
pyramid.
Yeah, the pyramid.
Yeah, that happens. I feel like in this conversation, a special shout needs to be made to the compost loo at Brookhouse Woods.
Yeah.
That is by far the compost loo that I've used the most.
Mm-hmm. Your home loo.
Home loo, playing on home soil, making home soil.
What's that? Explain that setup.
Set up, it's sort of a little stroll into the woods. There's a nice little sort of bit of wood that you put up or down in front of the path. A little barrier to say that when someone's pooing there, the barrier's down. When the barrier's up, no one's pooing there. That's effective. When it's high winds, there's like a black sheet that covers up your entrance into the toilet, which billows quite a lot. That can be troubling if it's wet and you've got a sopping
no one likes a wet sheet.
Sopping wet sheet slapping your face in the middle of the night. That's less than ideal, I suppose. But then
it's a nice frame, that structure.
Lovely frame, lovely sort of round woody frame on there. And then you come out of said little barrier, and there's a nice little sink that was made by John Mullany and others, I believe, on the volunteer week,
wasn't it?
At Brookhouse Woods. So yeah, definitely special shout out to that. A compost loo that will be missed.
That's the honourable mentions.
Yeah.
In the poo section.
Also ran. Also pooed.
What about, this is going off of the questions that have been sent in. This is one from me.
Okay.
What's been your favourite project to work on this year? What we have done?
Favourite project this year, what we have done?
And why?
Oh, it's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Because none of them have been fun.
Yeah, they've all been really, really bad, like thoroughly unenjoyable. No, there's been quite a few good ones, like the earth floors.
Yeah,
always enjoyable. I don't do a huge amount, so it's always nice to get involved with them. One up in Manchester and in Bridport, I believe. They're always really good. Enjoy them. Get a good little gang of us down. Put the work in. Put the hours in over a few days.
Yeah, they're hard. It's a hard working day, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know you've done it,
definitely.
but we generally celebrate with a trip to the pub.
Exactly, yeah. That's the sort of work hard, play hard ethic in full effect. It's the way of the mud. So that's always really good. The compost loo we did, although I suppose the compost loo actually was probably really last year, wasn't it? Finishing this
probably.
year. I suppose more recently, something we're going to speak about more is the granary, which we've started to work on this year, which we are retrofitting.
Yeah.
With insulation and so on. Yeah. So that is an ongoing, very much enjoyable project, I would say. Yeah.
I'm very much enjoying that.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say that was up there for you, or?
Definitely, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, what do I like about that? I like that the insulation's it's nice, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
Using the Indie Nature hemp insulation.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been a bit dubious before because we'd tried it and I didn't really know how to cut it. And it turns out that using the insulation saw, it's a dream.
Excalibur. Yes.
Which is basically a bread knife.
Bread knife. Really, really, really expensive bread knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suspect you could get a bread knife from Morrison's that might do the same job for 1/10 of the price.
Yeah. For not that amount of money.
Yeah. But each to their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice to do. So that space was a granary. Well, it was never actually built as a granary. It was built as a replica of the granary that's next door. Granary next door is, I think, 1500, something like that. And this one is 1950s.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a big old solid stone wall building. It had laughable insulation in the ceiling.
Yes.
Sort of bits of polystyrene that were loosely fitted into between the rafters.
Emphasis on loosely, and very much a small F on the word fitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a fun day, didn't we? Put on the hazmat suits.
Hazmat's on.
Went and ripped down the ceiling.
Existing in Fly City. Thousands upon thousands of flies raining down upon us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. Nom. But yeah, the hemp insulation really is gorgeous, isn't it? The pillowy finish it gives you on the inside of the building.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I particularly like that we have insulated the building just before it gets cold. And so now when we pop a little heater on in there, we've got the heater going at its lowest setting and it's t-shirt weather.
It's t-shirt weather all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might even be tops off weather.
Tops off.
When you're up the scaffold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you've had too many coffees.
Yes, which does happen.
I think you made the temperature quite a lot warmer the other day. It was quite uncomfortable in there when I got back.
Horrendous sweating, sprinting around for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, but that's a nice project in that it's quite simple in terms of the finish. It's, we're sort of building a box, basically a timber frame box inside of a big old stone box.
Yeah.
Filling it with insulation, slapping the walls up. It's big open plan space, very little in the way of sort of penetrations. Yeah, it's quite simple, straightforward. Yeah, I think that is my favourite project, actually. Obviously, the craft school is its own thing. It sort of feels like the structure was definitely an absolute joy.
Yes. Yeah.
But then there's that's sort of not even really the beginning.
No. Yeah, the craft school didn't even enter my head now. It sort of doesn't really feel like a work thing. It feels slightly extrinsic to that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, that too. That the build itself was fantastic. But as you say, yeah, that was very much step one along a longer path.
A long and winding road. Choose another number.
5.
5 is... Oh, it's Amy Leake.
Hey, Amy.
She says, what is your best Christmas cracker joke Slash, what's your best joke?
How do you make a duck a soul singer?
I know this.
You know the answer to this one, but you just put it in a microwave until it's Bill Withers.
Hey!
That's, I think, my favourite ever joke.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, there's a few, but go on. What's your favourite / one of your favourite jokes?
My go-to joke at the moment is I tried to catch a cloud the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Missed.
Hey! Come on!
Yeah!
I got a slightly long one.
Go on.
It goes, I think my favourite moment from all of the Star Wars films in total is where Darth Vader faces Luke Skywalker and he says, "Luke, I be your father." To be fair, I think I might have been listening to a pirate copy.
Oh my god. How about this next section?
Mm-hmm. Ah.
It's going in.
Uh-oh.
This is for you, my friend Michael Hill.
Thanks, man. Well, in that case, this is for you, my friend, Jeffrey Hart.
3 presents.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you better have the other one. I was just going to give you one.
Come on. All right.
Thanks, Matt. Oh,
No, you can have those two.
yeah?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Nice wrapping.
Yeah, thanks. We've both gone... Well, I was trying to find brown paper and I couldn't.
This is brown paper with deers on.
It's kind of brown paper, but it's got, there's deers on there. A little bit of string on Jeffrey's one. Absolutely covered in plastic. Whoa! Holy hell. Oh, no, he didn't.
What you got, Mike?
Jeffrey Hart has got me a very large 8 metre or 26 foot Stanley Fatmax bad boy tape measure.
There's been a bit of
Oh.
Mike's tape measures. It can't do the distances.
The what do you call it? The tape standout, I believe is what it's
I think
called.
it's written on there. It says
Yes,
it's gonna,
standout.
It says it can do 4 meters.
They said it has-
I think you're better than that.
Let's see. 4 metre standout. Ooh.
What are you at?
So we're at 3 metres 10.
Oh, you got to be. That's 4 meters. But
3 metres 70.
It's got to be where your hand is, though. That's a standout. Ooh. You're not at an optimum angle.
3 metres 60. It wants to be high, doesn't it, really? But
I think you want to be more like 45 degrees.
yeah, but I can't do it.
No. I don't want
Right.
to hear excuses.
So 4 metres is at the tape.
Can you beat? Oh! Oh!
Oh! We got 3 metres 90
I think go up through the apex.
up through the apex.
I've just opened this present.
Yeah.
It's a modern classic from the author of The Left Hand of the Darkness.
That's the one.
I know nothing of this.
This is Ursula K. Le Guin with her seminal book, The Dispossessed.
Yeah.
I was describing to you the other day that is my favourite sci-fi book.
Oh, yes!
By
It doesn't have a very sci-fi cover.
No, not at all.
I thought it was going to be a nature book.
All right, just hang on a second. Sorry to butt in, but we're currently at 3 metres 90.
Okay.
We are at 4 metres.
Oh! Come on.
We're at 4 metres 10.
Come on. Beat the record.
We've done it.
Show them how far they should really be writing on
Right,
that
we
tape.
got 420, man. Oh, no! Can't do 420. Can't do 420. But we got an official 410 though.
One of my favourite memories of Mike from last year, end of last year, just before Christmas actually, last year, was we were doing an earth floor.
Oh yeah.
And we went to the pub in the evening and Mike still had his tape in his pocket and we ended up playing the Measure It game.
Which is how me and you met.
Yeah. We playing the Measure It game in the pub, involving all the locals, measuring right across from where we were sat to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
It was
And asking people to guess how far that distance was.
Yeah, and then when I said it was 3.6 meters, and they go, no, and then invariably they were very far out.
Yeah, great time.
We've practiced that game quite a lot.
A lot. So we met, 13 years ago or something like that. And we met whilst you were playing that very game.
Yeah.
At a friend of ours' wedding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Ursula K. Le Guin, very well respected sci-fi writer, Dispossessed, is I think my favourite book by her, bought for me by one of my best friends, Adam. And I have bought this book for several of my good friends. And you are the latest in a long line of people who should receive this book, read it and enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. How far from me to that?
2.2.
2.7. Exactly.
2.7?
Yeah.
No, you're measuring it wrong. Pick any number you like as a question.
Okay. Number 2.
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
This is from both Flo and Lara of Lara's Tiny House.
Nice.
What would you do differently in your tiny house?
Okay, well, I can answer this one.
Yeah. Go on. Lay it on me.
I reckon I would, to start with, I'd build one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be number one.
That's a major difference.
That's the main change I'd make.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. How about you? Out of interest.
I don't know if there's much I'd change necessarily, but I would have put gutters up sooner.
Ah, yes.
Well, maybe that is a change because I was very, very conscious of the maximum width of a trailer, and so I cut my roof sheets a little bit shorter than I wanted to stay within the size limit. I did on the back, and on the front I just went, do you know what, sod it. Yeah. If it's a problem, I'll cut them. And I wish I'd done that on the back as well, because the back has been a bit like the corks held water a bit more. Yeah. And then I put up some gutters, and the cork doesn't hold any water anymore. Solved it. So I wish I'd done that sooner, because there is there's a slight bulge at the back, which may be because of water ingress. It's caused something to swell up. Not entirely sure. Kind of hard to know. But yeah, I'm sort of kicking myself that I didn't do that sooner. Yeah. I also wish that I'd put my trapeze bar up sooner as well.
You get hench stick.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? That actually originally was designed because I've got young nieces. I wanted to put a swing in here. Yeah. So that when they came around and saw my house, they were like, "Oh, it's got a swing in here." Because the first house I ever saw that someone built for themselves had a swing in the front room, and I thought it was the best thing in the world. And I was 28. Yeah. So imagine that, but for an 8-year-old.
I put a swing into the cabin we built in Brookhouse Woods.
You did indeed.
And that also is a very, very joyful thing.
Yeah.
Swings in houses.
Swings in houses.
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe I should continue my trapeze into the swing that I've always wanted it to be.
Yeah, you should. Just slightly longer rope.
Slightly longer rope, slightly flatter. There's a bit of wood under this sofa that is the bit of wood I've earmarked for the swing.
Okay.
It's been there for 2 years.
Probably still fine.
Yeah. Or not.
So, gutters and swings.
Gutters and swings. That's the old adage, isn't it?
If you had your time again, lying on your deathbed.
Gutters and swings.
Just wish I'd built better gutters.
Rosie asked, what was my silliest podcast moment? That was, of course, this time last year. Yeah, absolutely. Sat here with you. That was good nonsense.
That's from Rosie Mockford.
Yeah.
Big ups, Rosie.
Question: why do you love mud so much?
Why do you love mud so much?
From Flo Hamer.
What's wrong with you?
Do you know what? I've been thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I love it so much? Because it's cheap. Like anyone can work it. It's like it's a people's technology.
Yeah.
It's abundant for lots and lots of places, certainly in the UK. And beyond that, it's actually this incredible material that keeps humidity down. It holds heat. It can be insulating when it's mixed with things.
Mm-hmm.
It just creates like the most incredible space, like a really high-tech space in terms of the performance, but from a thing you dig out of the ground.
High-tech finish, low-tech material.
Exactly. It's almost like you've read my website.
What more do you want?
Some money.
Make nice pies from it.
Yeah, can make nice pies. Mud also did a song called Tiger Feet,
Mm-hmm.
which is a personal favourite of mine.
Good. Drum and bass?
No. 70s kind of. I imagine them all wearing dungarees.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a bass and a drum.
70s dungaree rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dungaree funk. Dunga funk.
Dunga funk. Dunga dunk.
Dunga dunk. Merry Christmas, Mike.
Merry Christmas!
I'm going for
Oh, holy Moses!
present number 2.
It's gift time. Let's exchange
There
them.
you go.
Oh,
Oh, that's heavy.
it's a bottle of wine. It's not a bottle of wine.
It's the size of one of those. If I turn it over, will it go moo?
Moo.
It's not one of those.
What's in here? Oh, holy Moses, goodness me. This is a delicious little brush. I think made by you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, mate.
Oh, mate.
Jeffrey learned to make brushes.
Look at that.
This is some sort of jam or pickle or chili or broccoli. Kimchi!
It's a jar of kimchi.
Ace.
That's from Taunton Food Market
Emporium.
Christmas stall thing.
Cool.
Yeah. I thought, that's good for you, isn't it?
I bang into kimchi.
Yeah, I thought so.
Thanks, man.
So there you are. Eat it by April.
Is that a threat?
Yes. Yes, it is. Eat it by fucking April, all right?
Sweep something up.
Mate, thanks, man. That's a lovely little thing.
Oh, well, thank you. That is a lovely little thing.
It's even adorned with my favourite. It's got orange cordage on it, which is my favourite colour.
Is it really?
Yeah. Thanks, man. It's got a lovely little leather hook.
Yeah. That is the turkey tail style.
What's the fibre?
Tampico,
It's Tampico. It's my favourite fibre.
which I believe is Mexican.
That's a lovely thing. Thanks, man. It
Yes.
also looks like an old school shaving brush.
Yeah, you could trim it back in it. I think it would do that job.
I don't
If
need
you
to
wanted
shave
to.
that often. Sadly. Thanks, man. That's a lovely thing.
You're welcome.
Look at that. That makes a perfect pairing with my 8-metre Stanley Fat Max tape.
It's really all the tools you needed in your top 5.
Yeah, that's 2 of my top 5. Little brush and a tape measure, as I said.
Right, I've got a question for you from Jim Bunce. I used to know someone called Helen Bunce. She was lovely.
Cool.
Fun story?
Yeah. Any more?
No.
No, cool. That'll do.
I mean, when you've hit the big time with that one,
Yeah.
the Helen Bunce story.
Big Helen. All right, so what's Jim saying? Helen's older brother?
Yep.
Yeah. What's he got to say for himself?
He is saying, if you could start any project again and do it differently, which would you do and how would you do it differently?
Jesus H. Goodness.
I might leave you to answer that while I rustle up the next course.
Well,
You feeling good about more food?
yeah. Very much. I am hungry.
We could just drink the drink.
I think we should just drink the drink.
Yeah,
I don't think I've got a cheese board in me.
Oh.
I certainly don't want a cheese board in me.
Oh.
What project would I do differently? All right, so yes. So this is a kind of small scale, but yeah, the van that I built and converted for myself and my partner at the time, I should have fitted a significantly smaller log burner to it.
Oh!
Because it's a 4x2 meter box. It's a Luton box van, and I think I have what I was sold as a 3 kilowatt log burner.
It's bigger than mine.
I think it might be a 5 kilowatt log burner, and that is too many kilowatts. Just a moment.
Oh, that's a hefty port. I forgot I was pouring port.
Generous serving of port right there. So yes, far too big a burner for the space.
What does that do? Because I always just imagined that you'd just run it less.
Yeah, but that doesn't really work very well for my personality type.
So it's not the burner's fault.
No, it's definitely my fault. Me and my partner were living in it, and I would ram it full of wood relentlessly to the point where we'd both be sat in our underpants. And
cheers!
We got to the point, where you'd have to sit and open up all the doors, open up all the windows, and it would still be far too hot. So what I really required was one of those tiny little, what are they called, Cyclops burners or something like that, a little tiny one. But yes, a friend of mine who's a log burner fitter, he managed to source this one for 120 quid because it was an ex-display rather than £900 or something. So I went for it for that reason. And I wanted a big window. I wanted to be able to look at fire.
The big window is a joy.
Yeah.
Mine's a 4 kilowatt.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of perfect for this space, actually.
It's always felt lovely in here, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with this being such an insulated space, I basically just burn a few logs and then leave it. Like, I won't burn anything more tonight.
No.
And that'll keep me going through till morning.
But yeah, I think probably log burner. And then also, there's just seating along one wall in mine. It would be. I would have liked to have been able to manufacture some kind of L shape or U shape seating in there. Would have been nice for when you have more people around.
Yeah, the importance of an L.
Yeah, I mean the truth is that I don't live in it anymore, and we rarely had people around really. So it was okay. But when people did come around, it was a bit like it would be nice to not be sat in a line.
I came round.
Yeah. And we sat in a line.
We did.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, a little bit of sort of extra shape is always nice there, isn't it?
Do you want another question?
Yeah. I'll take one.
Flo says, what would you advise people against doing?
Mm-hmm.
I think your wood burner thing is a really good one for that.
Yes,
Tiny
definitely.
house space wise.
Yeah. Spec that out properly rather than just looking at a thing and say, I'd like to see that in the place that I'm living at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would I advise against doing? Listening to the Building Sustainability podcast, not becoming a patron.
Definitely strongly advise against that.
Do you know what? One of the things I'd advise people against doing is installing insulation badly.
Mm-hmm. This is a big one on our current awareness card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that even the insulation manufacturers, sometimes their like product shots show incredibly badly installed insulation.
Right.
So it's no wonder that people don't. Christmas hat gone.
It's scratching around my ear.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a terrible time. So when you say badly installed insulation, what are you referring to?
So I am referring to people pushing insulation into a gap that's too small for their bit of insulation width, and that causes it to pucker up. So if insulation is manufactured at a very specific density, to be as insulative as possible.
Mhm.
If you compress that right down, then you squash out all the air. It's no longer as insulating. So if you try and squish it in, say, between two joists, and it's too big, then you squash out all the air. You also, generally, it sort of wrinkles and puckers up, and that leaves voids where there's just air voids. That can be somewhere which mould grows. Also, you've got a really sort of condensed bit where next to that void.
Yes.
So that's a big thing that I see. I see people folding insulation. Like if you have to, put it into a space, they just fold it around. And things don't, like the spaces you're insulating generally are squares.
Yes.
So you want to cut your insulation quite precisely to be a square or a cuboid.
Cuboid.
Yeah, a cuboid shape. And then sort of fluff that insulation into that space to make sure it's filling it, no air gaps.
Yeah.
When you fold it, you first of all compress the insulation on the inside. The outside of a fold is round. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's sort of stretched out, and it's, as you say, it's compressed on the inside and stretched out on the outside.
Yeah, leaving big
and then
hemispheres of uninsulated bits.
Yeah.
So that's really annoying to see. Whenever someone posts a photo of insulation online, I am zooming in and nosing around their insulation job, which is why. Well, I mean, we spent, and deservedly so, we spent a long time making our insulation really, really solid.
Absolutely.
And when I posted a picture, a few people commented on how well it was installed.
Oh,
so
that's what we like to
they
hear.
did the zoom.
Yes. Successful zoom.
Yeah. Why am I ranting about insulation?
Because that is
the
something
thing
that you would warn against doing or do different.
Yeah, advise people against doing.
There we go. Yeah.
Like, know how to insulate.
Yeah.
Be wary of gaps anywhere. So beside the insulation, if your insulation is cut too thin and there's a gap, ideally you want to make sure you cut it the right width, because stuffing bits in is sort of fraught with, how much you stuff in. If you overstuff it, it gets too dense.
Yeah.
There's potential for gaps. There's potential for all sorts going wrong. So cutting it right the first time is really good.
But that as well, isn't it? Is the cutting it for the right size for the aperture, like left to right and up down. But it's also the depth, isn't it? So not just shoving it in, and then when you put your board on top of that, you don't want there to be a gap between the board and the insulation. You want that insulation to come flush with the edge of the racking or wood that you put in there for the board to go onto it. So there's no gap in between the insulation of the board or the insulation and the frame around it.
Yeah. And thinking about how you're even pushing the insulation into the void, because if you just push it straight in, the back corners get caught and they fold up.
Yeah.
And so you have to go in and kind of tuck the edges in.
Yeah.
And like you were making a bed or something, you sort of readjust everything and make sure it's sitting right.
Yeah, because if you just shove it in, then you're probably leaving yourself with a Toblerone shaped gap.
Exactly.
At the back left and right, aren't you?
Other confectionery available.
Yes.
Other triangular, pyramidal,
pyramidicular
confectionaries
are available.
Probably.
They're not. Have you ever seen another triangle shaped chocolate?
The chocolate in Equality Street.
Yes, in a row, making a long pyramidoid.
The day my dad left the tin of Quality Streets on the back seat of the car in high summer.
There we go.
So it also had a toffee penny sticking out one side. It was a mess.
What a time.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't shove your insulation lest you be chocolatey judged.
Exactly.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a Toblerone.
Yeah. But yeah.
Toblerone.
Right. There we go. That's the tagline for the podcast.
Yeah.
Have we done that one?
I think so, yeah.
I've got another question.
Oh, yeah?
From none other than Lee Stoffer.
No way, not the stuffer.
Lee asked, well, he asked one question, but I'm not going to ask that one. He also asked, what elements do you, Jeffrey Hart, include in your personal self-care routine to stay mentally and physically healthy?
Oh, not as many as I should, Lee Stuffer.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, not as many as I should, Lee Stuffer.
I think you and I have quite terrible mental hygiene.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Lee Stuffer, of course, is a person who would ask this question. He is a man who is very good at this sort of thing. Very good at all sorts of things, to be fair. But he is a yoga practitioner and a massage therapist, licensed both thereof.
License to kill.
Licensed to thrill.
Nice.
Thank you. And yes, Lee is somebody who is, in my experience, very up on this sort of thing. In terms of his movement, his awareness of...
You mean his poos?
Yes, bowel-wise.
His movements.
I'm talking about, yeah.
He knows exactly where his movements
top
are.
grade stool. That's what Lee Stuffer's rocking. But yeah, in terms of like a routine, I don't really think I have a routine of which to speak. I would love to have a routine of which to speak, and I know what the routine would look like.
So I do... I find it very difficult because my brain, generally I wake up and my brain is going like full pelt. But on the good days, and this is happening more and more recently, I wake up and I have a meditate. Yeah, I have a little meditate where I go through the Vipassana style of meditation, and that's just trying to focus on my breath, clearing my head, and sort of being open to where my mind wanders to, because that's obviously a thing that's in my brain.
Yeah.
But also trying to keep my brain just focused on breathing. And in the good weeks, I do that quite a lot.
Yeah.
And recently I've done it not at all. I've been sleeping terribly recently. So
that's something that you and I both have some experience with, isn't it? Is Vipassana meditation.
Yeah. How would you feel about going to do another one?
I've been thinking more and more about it recently.
So have I.
Yeah. We absolutely can't go on the same one.
No.
But yes, it's something that...
Imagine if we were roomies. That'd be terrible.
So for anybody who's not aware, Vipassana is a form of meditation which is focusing on the breath and body scanning.
Yes.
And it is a 10-day, it can be longer, it can be shorter, but as sort of a standard 10-day silent retreat where you meditate, and there's a noble silence where you can't talk or make eye contact or read or write or listen to music.
Or do like yoga
or do yoga or jog or star jumps or anything apart from sleeping, eating and meditating.
Yeah, you're allowed to walk around the garden.
Period of time for walking around the garden. That's true. Yeah.
And boy, did I walk around that garden.
That garden got walked. That garden got walked, son. But yes, that's something that we've both done.
And benefited from hugely.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, sorry, I don't want to speak for you.
No, very, very much so, yeah. We spoke about this in the past, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been thinking more and more about doing another one of those, potentially at the end of the summer, or maybe at the beginning of the summer. Depends how work plays out.
So, I suppose for me, the answer to that would be, in an ideal world, which, all truth being told, is not the world in which we exist now, because I don't do it. But if I was doing it, it would focus around, meditation twice a day, morning and evening, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Not a huge amount at all.
Wow.
Just a small period of time.
Just get in there, get it done, get out.
Certainly in the morning, certainly in the evening. So 10 minutes at least, morning and evening. And then with at least one period in the daytime as well. I used to, when I was in my meditating period of time, I would at least twice a day just have a little couple of minutes where I'd sit and very intentionally take myself away and just sit eyes closed and do a little breathe and think and recenter and all of that good stuff. And aside from that, there'd always be some kind of movement involved, which was external to working movement. So some form of yoga or stretching or Qigong or Tai Chi or any of these slow intentional movement practices. A lot, like I've done some of those, not all of them, but friends of mine have done all of them, and they benefit from it massively.
Talking of movement, you've just learned a thing, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know if it's just referred to as shaking, but a kind of a practice which is a re-embodying or an anchoring or a grounding technique to bring yourself back to yourself and to try and stymie the mind chatter.
Yeah, the intrusive thoughts,
It was just basically spending an allotted period of time, a minute, 30 seconds, whatever, of literally shaking your limbs, shaking your arms, shaking your legs, flapping your arms around like you're Ace Ventura in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, when he's been shot in the arms by poison darts.
Nice. Great reference.
Good reference, that, wasn't it? General bouncing, moving, reminding yourself that you're in a body and you're not just a head thinking things. I did a bit of that the other day, and it was unbelievably successful, unbelievably effective. It really sort of chilled out the old mind chatter.
We could build that into our day, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm remembering at uni, I shared a room with a guy called Sim. And when we do all-nighters, because we always did all-nighters.
Studying.
Throwing together a project to hand in the next morning.
Yeah.
This was in the first year. I got a lot better. But we used to put on Manu Chao's King of the Bongo and just have a dancing break. Sort of periodically. Just one of us would be working away like, I hate this. And then, boom.
Yeah.
Boom. And up we'd jump. We'd have a little dancing break. And then we'd get back into it. And I'd never considered that was actually... I always thought that was just a stupid thing that we did.
Yeah.
And actually, now hearing you say that, it feels like actually quite a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
While you're doing something really not smart.
It was a stupid thing you were doing, but it was also a good thing you were doing without even realising. What a treat. And that's the thing. That's sort of... I was just thinking then that's... explains why people feel, why so many people hold in such high esteem dancing and movement and all of that. It all feeds into the same pot, doesn't it? I imagine. Yeah.
I went out dancing recently and felt just great. I felt like I did 4 hours of jumping around.
Yeah.
And didn't really think about anything other than jumping around.
Yeah.
And I hadn't actually really considered how good for my brain that was.
I think
to go that long without my stupid brain.
That bloody thinking. I think that's just people who consider themselves people who think about stuff and care and whatnot.
That's not me.
No, I'm trying to extrapolate.
Oh.
But I think you can forget about the importance and necessity of movement and of doing physical things.
Yeah, because we're big brains, aren't we? The big brain is important.
Yeah, absolutely. And the equal, just as equally important thing is moving yourself.
I've done it again. That's half a pint of pork.
Even bigger than the first one. Significantly even bigger. You best fill yours up because Jesus Christ.
Sorry, mate. My glass is...
Sorry, that was religion again. Thin slices of cheese. That's one for Jodie. But yes, I had a counselling session recently where we were speaking about that and re-embodying and anchoring and so on. And it reminded me of pre-university. I played every single sport under the sun: football, cricket, basketball, hockey, tennis for the school teams and for teams outside of it. I was obsessed. And I went to university and that all finished. And that was such a big part of my life and I've just not done it. And, working now and so on in building is similar, but it's not the same. And I feel like there's a huge part of me that's been left untapped for quite a long time that when I do tap back into it very occasionally, like I did during that counselling session of the day, my body says immediately, yes, this please. A bit more of that, embody yourself, be in your body, do things, throw stuff, hit stuff, And it's not just as I think sometimes sport can be mislabeled in certain circles of society as being less valid.
Yeah.
Less sort of, what am I trying to say? I think you know what I'm trying to say. Less academically valid or behind academic things. And I think that is misleading. I think that's wrong.
Totally.
Yeah. That's a misleading thought I've had in the past, in which I want to correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think maybe you should play us out. You've got a little Christmas tune to finish for us. This is in lieu of the normal outro music. We're gonna have Mike play his special little instrument. He's been practicing all week.
Right.
Take it away with your special little end of show present for the listeners.
Here's a very, very special end of Christmas podcast message from me to all of you beautiful listeners.
Can I get a rewind?
Yeah, you can.
Hey!
Fucking hell.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
You are so welcome, everyone. Merry Christmas.
The best Festivus. Happy Yule.
Just give your Christmas kisses to all of the clogs and make sure everyone's having a fucking lovely time, eh?
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the podcast this year. Look forward to giving you loads more good chats next year.
Loads more wonderful people, loads more excellent things. Only one more of this at the end of the year, hopefully.
Yeah.
I've been Jeffrey Hart, and you've been fantastic. Christmas-tastic. Saint Nick-tastic. Thank you.